Most of us were taught our entire lives by teachers who followed a well-worn path. They went to school, they graduated, they got a job, they retired. They told us the same. School was important because it was supposed to prepare us for the real world. It gave us the formulas we needed to solve equations and pass exams. And if you follow the formulas, the theory goes, you'll win at life. But Elon Musk didn't just follow the formula. He threw it out the window, and now he's the world's most daring visionary. A man who launched a car company in the middle of a recession, a space exploration company, and is trying to save the planet from climate change. So here are 5 things Elon Musk learned in life that school doesn't teach you. Number 1. First big moves. This was part 1 of how Elon Musk really started to grow as a person. When he was 9 years old, he moved to Canada with his mother. At the time, he wasn't a genius. In fact, he had below average grades. And the first time he ever tried to start a business, he sold a trash can vacuum cleaner door to door. That didn't work. So instead, he spent all his free time reading books and learning from them. Then he discovered computers and realized there was a place called the internet where people from around the world came together to share their knowledge. With an insatiable curiosity, he started devouring every piece of information he could find. As he learned more, he knew he wanted to make the world a better place. It was also around this time that Elon and his brother Kimball created a game called Blastar. The game didn't go anywhere, but it taught Elon some valuable lessons about making something from nothing. Then in 1992, Elon officially moved to the United States. When he arrived in California, he had less than $2,000 in his bank account. But once again, instead of asking for help or looking for a job, he doubled down on learning everything he could about computers. With his new fortune, Elon was able to focus on what he loved most, solving problems that had always interested him. His next company, X.com, merged with another online payment platform called Confinity in March of 2000 to form a large online payment platform. That company, which Elon helped found, became known as PayPal. Again though, Elon felt like he could be doing more. He was only 32 years old and knew that he didn't want to spend the rest of his life working on someone else's project. So despite the fact that he had accomplished so much already, Elon was ready to take his biggest risk yet. He was about to leave behind everything he had worked so hard to build and bet it all on 2 companies, Tesla and SpaceX. This brings us to life lesson number 2. From 2, fail fast, learn faster. By 2003, Elon Musk had decided to move forward with Tesla. He liquidated most of his stock in PayPal and invested the proceeds in the electric car company. But Elon soon realized that to run a car company, he needed to be an expert in hundreds of different fields. Fortunately, he had a great team of advisors to turn to for help. Unfortunately, despite their expertise, the team couldn't figure out how to make a cheap electric car that was also marketable. So Elon did what he always did. He read everything he could get his hands on about batteries. He pored over technical journals and academic papers and learned everything he could about battery technology. What he discovered was that to make an affordable electric car, he needed to find a way to make the battery cheaper. That was the problem, and he wanted to solve it. So once again, Elon called upon his vast network of contacts and assembled a team of the best engineers in the world. Together, they set out to develop a new kind of battery pack that was lighter, cheaper, and more efficient than anything on the market. Their invention became known as the Tesla Model S, and it's still one of the best-selling electric cars on the market today. Lesson number 3. Take insane risks. While developing the Tesla Roadster, Elon received a call from NASA officials. They told him that they were looking for someone to help them solve a major problem. For decades, NASA had been sending probes to other planets in our solar system, but they were struggling to land them safely. There were so many variables involved in landing a probe on another planet, such as atmospheric pressure, gravitational pull, and surface temperature, that it was extremely difficult to do. It was also extremely expensive, because missions often failed during landing and had to be repeated. That's why when Elon Musk offered his help, they were eager to hear his thoughts. Elon explained that he thought he could solve their problem if they gave him the opportunity. But before he could elaborate, the NASA officials politely declined his offer. They told him that they appreciated his enthusiasm, but they didn't think he was qualified to help them. And then they hung up the phone. At first, Elon was disappointed. He really wanted to help NASA, but then something happened that changed everything. Instead of taking no for an answer, he continued to pursue the NASA officials, and eventually they agreed to meet with him. During the meeting, Elon laid out his plan for how he could help them solve their problem. They listened patiently, and then one of them finally spoke up. "We appreciate your enthusiasm," he said, "but we don't think this is going to work." Elon wasn't deterred. He knew that they were wrong, and he was determined to prove it to them. He asked them if they would give him a chance. If they did, he promised that he would solve their problem. They looked at each other and then back at Elon. "Okay," one of them said, "you've got yourself a deal." And that's how Elon Musk won his first big contract with NASA. People told him this was impossible, and those words only fueled him more. Lesson number 4: relentless work ethic. Working long hours is a trait that can be observed in most successful individuals, including Elon Musk. On average, he works 100 or more hours every week. In a recent interview, he stated that sometimes the only way he can keep up with the massive workload is by replying to emails early morning. One of the reasons Elon is able to work so much is because he doesn't waste time on trivial matters. He focuses on the big picture and delegates tasks to others. He knows that he can trust his employees to get the job done right. Elon also makes sure that he takes some time for himself every day. He believes that it's important to have a balance between work and life. But even when he takes time off, he's still thinking about his businesses. For example, when he goes on vacation, he makes sure to bring his laptop so he can check in on things from time to time. It's this relentless work ethic that has allowed Elon Musk to achieve so much success in such a short amount of time. Lesson number 5: purpose over money. Before Elon founded SpaceX, there were two types of rocket companies: the cheap ones that weren't very good and the expensive ones that were very good. SpaceX was founded with the goal of making both rockets cheap and good. To achieve this goal, Elon took a page out of Henry Ford's book. Ford was the first person to mass-produce cars, which made them affordable for the average person. Elon wanted to do the same thing for rockets. When SpaceX started out, its rockets were unreliable and often exploded. But Elon didn't care. He knew that failure was just part of the process. He was more concerned with learning from his mistakes than making money. In fact, he was willing to lose money in order to improve his rockets. After several failed launches, SpaceX was almost out of money. Elon's friends and family urged him to give up. They told him that he had lost enough money and it was time to move on. But Elon didn't listen. He knew that he was close to a breakthrough, and he wasn't about to quit. He put everything he had into one final launch. If it failed, SpaceX would be no more. But the launch was successful, and SpaceX was on its way to becoming one of the most valuable rocket companies in the world. Back then, Elon didn't know that SpaceX would ever make him a billionaire. He didn't care about money. All he cared about was making history, the climax. When SpaceX rockets failed 3 times, Musk had money left for just one final launch. If that failed too, the story would have ended there. But he took the shot. And that one try changed the world. So the question I want to leave you with today is, what will you do? If Elon Musk can rewrite his life, so can you. If he can overcome being bullied as a kid and rise above all odds to become the richest person in the world, so can you. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something. Believe in yourself and your ability to succeed. Work hard, take risks, and never give up. The world is yours for the taking.